Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for taking the time and joining this presentation. Also, thank you again, Product School, for this amazing opportunity to be here today talking to the product community and sharing a bit of my experience and my knowledge about working as a product manager in a culturally diverse company. So today, within this theme, we're going to talk about four major points. The first one is the opportunities as a product manager in this globalized world we are living in, the high global demand for good product managers. Then we talk about the challenges, the first impressions, and culture shocks of starting as a product manager in a multicultural team. Then empowering, so a set of tools and tips on how to prepare to face this challenge of starting working in a cultural diverse environment. And last, the strengths. So how working with the international people can make you grow as a better product manager. But first of all, let's introduce myself. So my name is Maria. I'm a data product manager with more than 4 years of experience working with product. I'm actually from Brazil. I was born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, but I'm now living in Berlin. I have experience working and living in more than 3 different countries, and I'm really passionate about human psychology and understand how culture can impact our way of living, way of being, thinking, and behaving. So let's start first talk about the opportunities, the good part, the high global demand that we are currently having for good product managers. So I think it's no surprise that the product management role is a hot role in the current marketing. It's a really promising job. In 2019, LinkedIn did a survey and ranked product management as the one of the most promising jobs of the years. The demand is only growing and growing. So in 2019, the job openings had a 29% year-on-year growth. And Glassdoor in the following year, 2020, listed more than 12,000 job openings. We also have new needs like I think it's a position, a job that came to stay. So with the coronavirus pandemic, studies showed, for example, that the pandemic has accelerated digital adoption by major firms by as much as 5 years. And with the digitalization of companies, small, big companies, we know that the product management role is crucial for that. And on the other hand, we have a lack of product managers in the marketing. So the increase is only growing, and we do not have enough people to fill all these positions. And the US, for example, the increase in demand for PM roles outpaced the increase in demand for overall roles by 5 times, what is crazy. And talk about what is stopping you to go after your dreams. So if you think about moving to another country, try to live in another culture, meet new people, or even doing that in the place that you're currently living in your country, try to work with a multicultural company. Why not trying? So we have this high global demand. We have a lot of opportunities there. It's very easy for us to access it through LinkedIn and other job platforms. So why not trying it? Why not going after it? And it's because of that, doing that I end up here in Berlin. So quite a change for the hot summer in Rio to this very white winter that we had last year in Berlin. Um, so I came here. In 2019, I started thinking about moving to Europe to work in a big company as a product manager, experience this new challenge in my life. And I started applying for some companies, and that's how I came here last year to join Zalando. So Zalando, for those who doesn't know, is the European leading online platform for fashion and lifestyle. Our goal there is to become the starting point for fashion. And talking about multicultural teams, Zalando is really strong at it. We have more than 14,000 employees, of over 130 different nationalities, different countries working the same place. And also our PM community there is really strong. It's big. We have now more than 200 PMs working in Zalando. So now I'm gonna share with you the biggest challenge that I face working in as a product manager for the first time in a culturally diverse company, and some shocks that I had, and how I overcame it, or how I'm trying to overcome it at least. So the challenge of working with different cultures, the first one I would say communication. So probably you are dealing with non-native speakers. Let's take English as the most common language that we use in cultural diverse environments, work environments. So probably you're dealing with non-native speakers, and probably you are non-native speakers. So this communication between native speakers can generate some misunderstandings, totally common. And then we still have the side of interpretation. So what people of one culture or country see as appropriate behavior or common sense may be quite different from what citizens of other countries expect. And then to make things even harder, we have all this remote work that we are currently doing. Probably most of product managers are currently working from home. And an interesting statistic is that 7 to 90% of our communication is nonverbal. So our body language, our body talks, it's really important. And the remote setup does not make it easy. And this can even increase the aspects of misunderstandings. And don't take it for granted. Even if you have traveled a lot, if you know people from many different cultures, many different countries, working with a diverse team is not easy. It requires you to be open and try to learn. So even those who are culturally informed, travel extensively, and have lived abroad often have few strategies for dealing with the cross-cultural complexity that affects their team's day-to-day activities. So then after facing these challenges, what you could do to try to have a better relationship with your team, with the users, with your stakeholders. So here I'm going to share how to prepare for the challenge of starting to work in a multicultural environment. It's based on my experience. Of course, it can be much broader than that. And I would also be happy to hear from you what you've tried that worked and that didn't work. So I brought 3 points here that really helped me. The first one is self-awareness. So know you better, try to understand how your culture affects you, how it models you, how it changes your way of thinking and dealing with people. And take your time to reflect about this background so you can know how to share to people, how to tell people what you like and what you don't like in a work environment. Then the second point that for me is the most important, it has the biggest impact, is know your team, of course, when it's possible, but know your team and know your stakeholders besides work. Take some time, especially with the remote setup, take some time before you start talking about work only to know who they are, know where they come from, what they like, what they don't like. And I'm sure that like you can come from very different places and cultures, but I'm sure that you find things in common, things that you like, things that you both have experience, and that will really help you to build trust. And the last point is be vulnerable. Don't be defensive. You'll make mistakes until you learn how to deal with your colleagues or stakeholders. People can interpret what you're doing, trying to say in a wrong manner, like not in the manner that you are trying to express. So be open to what people will tell to you, their feedbacks, their point of views, and think about what you could have done differently. And also here's some books that have helped me during my journey. The first one is called The Culture Map by Erin Meyer. I really like this book. I totally recommend for people who are working with diverse teams at national with different nationalities. It shows in different spectrums. So talk about, for example, the way of dealing with feedback, direct and indirect communication, um, more extrovert and introvert cultures, how they are placed in these different spectrums. So you can compare your culture to the culture of people that you are dealing every day in a business perspective, and try to understand how you can make your communication flow better. The second one is from Brené Brown. It's The Gift of Imperfection, that talks about the good thing about being vulnerable. That when you start to be more vulnerable, more open to your own mistakes, and know that you're not perfect, you start to becoming happier. Actually, you stop trying to achieve the impossible, that nobody is perfect, and know how to deal better with your own imperfections. That is really good. And the last one, the nonviolent communication. I think, it helps to communicate better in a healthier way, avoid misunderstandings with everyone that you deal with, not only in a business environment, and it helps you to find uh, how a person likes and what wishes to be communicated with. So yeah, that's a very good book as well. And then talk about strengths, how working with international people can make you grow as a better product manager. So here I brought four very important soft skills that we see when you type in Google soft skill for product manager. You can easily find these four soft skills, and how this challenge that I just showed that we can face when dealing with multicultural teams, how it can strengthen these soft skills that will help you to become a better product manager. So the first one is empathy. In order to achieve a PM role successfully, there is a need to be able to put yourself in the customer's shoes and understand their perspective as they use your product. And dealing with different nationalities, you have to understand um, why they are feeling a certain way, why they understood something that you communicate in a different manner than what you're expecting. You start to put yourself in their shoes also, and you build more empathy. And this you can take the soft skills also to use with your stakeholders and with your users. Then flexibility. Product managers need to be able to keep up with changes and stay flexible to ensure products are developed and launched in a timely and efficient manner. And flexibility when dealing with diverse teams, with multicultural teams, is also a key factor, because we have to adapt um, to have a healthy relationship with people. You have to be open to adapt, be vulnerable to understand what you can do differently, and be open to try things in a different way. Then the communication skills. I think most of the challenge that I brought, they are related 100% to communication. And for product manager communication, proper communication skills, including written and spoken, ensure the product manager can effectively communicate with their team and stakeholders to get successful products built. And also communication skills, you have to invest a lot when dealing with multicultural teams, and this can help you to become a better product manager as well. And last one is trust building, being transparent about decisions with their team and stakeholders, and getting them involved in the decision-making process can be critical for the success of product. And that's also a thing that dealing with culturally diverse teams, it's really good to take time to know people besides work, trying to build better relationship, closer relationship with them. And this really help you to build this trust that is needed to be a good product manager. So to close this talk, this session today, let's recap the key points. The first one is that product management is a rock role in the current marketing, with thousands of global opportunities right there. If you are interested in moving abroad or working in a multi-corporate company, just go for it. At least try. Don't take for granted the challenge of working with culturally diverse teams. It can be harder than you expect, but I'm sure if you put some effort, you'll become really good at it. And when working with different cultures, it can strengthen important soft skills for product managers, such as empathy, communication skills, and flexibility. Know your team, know yourself better, and be vulnerable. And last, and the most important one, enjoy the amazing experience of dealing with people from different backgrounds, different cultures, nationalities, and all the people, the amazing people that you have the chance to meet. I'm sure you not only become a better product manager, but you become a better person. You start seeing the world in a different way. It's amazing. It's a unique opportunity. If you have this goal, I totally recommend. I couldn't be happier with my decision to try this challenge in my life. So yes, thank you a lot for participating and stay to the end. I hope you like the talk. And if you have any questions or if you want to exchange experience, if you want to learn more about how was my process to come to Berlin, here's my email, my LinkedIn. I'll be really happy to talk with you to exchange our experience. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you a lot and good luck. Bye bye.